Hello friends, welcome to the Good Times channel. In today's video, I will tell you an amazing story about the rewarding return of a good deed that happened in the United States. A young man named Sam Peters shared his story. In 2007, he was a poor student who studied law in New York. He worked in many part-time jobs to be able to pay for his studies. Although he was poor, Sam always left a few coins to the beggars on the streets of New York. His mom had taught him to be kind and generous even though they were not wealthy themselves. Once, when Sam was still a child, he stumbled upon a miserable old beggar who came knocking at his door asking for food on a chilly winter day. Sam's mom gave half of their dinner, a few dollars, and some clothes to the old beggar. Sam couldn't believe it because they were struggling as a poor family too and asked his mom why. His mom replied, "If we give this meal a miss, we can perhaps save a life." Sam was deeply touched and learned the lesson from his mom. So Sam has always been kind to others. He studied hard to enter law school in New York with half a scholarship. In the law school, Sam fell in love with a lovely girl named Catherine, whose father was an esteemed judge. One day, Catherine happily brought Sam to meet her father. However, sadly, the girl's father didn't approve of their relationship. The proud judge thought Sam was a poor student who had no status, wealth, or any good family background, and was unworthy of dating his precious daughter. He privately gave Sam an impossible challenge. "I will allow you to date my daughter, but you will need to earn $10,000 all by yourself in a month's time and prove to me your ability to take care of my daughter." Sam was merely earning a few $100 every month. There was no way for him to earn $10,000 in a month in such short notice. Sam was very sad because he deeply loved Catherine. "How can I earn $10,000 in a month? There is no such job for a young student like me." Feeling hopeless and disappointed, he visited his friend Daniel's house to seek advice. Daniel was painting a portrait of an old, raggedy beggar with deep wrinkles on his forehead. It seemed that Daniel invited an old beggar to be a model for his painting. The old man appeared to be just a regular homeless person on the street in old and dirty shirt. Seeing this scene, the memory of the old beggar who came to his house asking for food suddenly came to Sam's mind. Sam told Daniel about his challenge when Daniel was drawing the portrait of the old beggar. To be honest, it's very difficult to earn $10,000 unless you can draw an extraordinary piece of art and someone's willing to buy it, Daniel joked with Sam. Suddenly, the phone in the house rang and Daniel went to pick up the phone. Sam talked to the beggar and asked him how much he was paid to be a model for Daniel. The old beggar smiled and told Sam, "He pays me $1 per hour." "What?" Sam felt ashamed of his friend for being stingy. Doesn't he know there's a minimum wage requirement? Sam opened his worn-out wallet and pulled out $10 to give to the beggar. "Please take the money to buy something you need. I think you deserve the money," told Sam to the old beggar. The old beggar lifted his head, looking into Sam's eyes, smiled, and received the money. He noticed Sam's wallet was almost empty. Sam later said goodbye to Daniel and the beggar. He felt better after talking to a friend, although he got no solution yet. Our next lesson was already beginning. Few days later, Sam received a phone call. He was invited to attend a job interview by a well-known company as a legal assistant. "You are invited to meet my boss for an interview. We found your resume online and understand that you're about to graduate. Please come to our company if you're interested in the job." Sam happily accepted the invitation and prepared for the interview. On that day, Sam was waiting in a large meeting room, and the interviewer entered the room. He was shocked to see a tall, well-dressed man in a business suit, but he was sure he saw him somewhere before. Yes, he was the old beggar he'd met a few days ago in Daniel's house. Sam couldn't believe his eyes. He asked, "What happened?" "His name is Baron Alfred. Hailing from a noble family, Mr. Alfred is a multi-millionaire businessman in New York. He is a philanthropist who gave away large sums of money to charities and schools. He wanted to encourage the community to help the homeless people, so he requested Daniel to draw a picture of him as an old beggar, so he could put the painting up for the charity auction to raise some money." Mr. Alfred explained to Sam about his background, and he gave Sam a letter. Sam opened the letter and found a $10,000 check and an employment offer letter of $5,000 monthly salary. "I hope this will help you to win the heart of your girlfriend's father. If not, just let me know and I'll talk to the judge," said Mr. Alfred. Sam couldn't hold back his tears. He hugged Mr. Alfred tightly and thanked him for his generous help. Well, friends, I hope this story inspires you to do good deeds. Be kind and help others. By doing so, you will accumulate virtue and receive blessings many-fold in return. Please subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories if you haven't done so. Goodbye!